I'll click that,
Okay,
and then you'll see your attitude.
great. Awesome.
Pretty much it.
Then did you maximize the screen?
I did, I just made it bigger, but it comes up this way. That's how you'll see it, I just don't like seeing this.
Right, and then you. Okay,
As long as you see that says recording up here, then you're good to go.
awesome. Thank you.
It's an important week for me, so.
Is that right?
Yeah. Start whenever.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Sorry.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 14th, 2026 meeting of the Woodstock Zoning Board of Appeals. We have a quorum. I'm going to call the meeting to order and do a roll call, starting to my left.
Martha Mills.
Joseph Bellick. We're also joined by our legal counsel. I don't believe we have any changes or additions to the meeting agenda. We are not going to be voting on the minutes from the April 23rd meeting tonight. We will do that at a future meeting. We have a number of public hearings scheduled. The first one is ZBA case 26-05. I'm going to make a motion to open that case. Second. Anyone opposed? All right. Who is here for the application of Aaron Yasin, Glasgow Ridge LLC?
That would be myself, Eric Johnson, and Hillary Patrick.
Okay, please come up.
Josie, why don't you tell me what I was- just read this.
Where would I find it?
Right there. When you just read it, that's what you just have to do.
Okay, this is the application of Aaron Yasin and Glasgow Ridge LLC for property section 2.72, block 2, lot 6.120, located at Glasgow Turnpike, Woodstock, New York, 12498, a 5.190 acre parcel located within an R3 zoning district for a variance from the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, Article 4, Schedule of Area and Bulk and Regulations 260, Attachment 2, Section R3A, to create an undersized lot in an R3 zoning district in order to subdivide a 5.190 acre lot into a 3 acre lot and a 2.19 lot. So we would like you to make a brief presentation. We have a number of things on our agenda, so if I want you to be able to say everything you want to say, but if you could also be efficient.
Okay, how long approximately do you think we have?
We're not going to set an exact time limit, but I'm asking you to be
Okay.
efficient.
All right. We'll try to be. I mean, I have some prepared notes, but there's a few things that we want to present.
Yes.
So if you could just I don't know, maybe ding me or something if it's going on for too long. Please don't hesitate. Good evening. My name is Aaron Yasin. You announced us. I'm here with my partner Hillary Patrick, who is the co-founder, along with her husband Anthony Harrington, who is not here tonight, of PH Design. PH Design is an architecture practice that specializes in low energy and environmentally responsive design. They focus on passive house. That's their practice. And together, we are on a mission to build more sustainable homes that are better for the people that live in them, in the communities in which they're built. We are the owners of the property that you mentioned on Glasgow Turnpike. We purchased this parcel in January of this year with the goal of building 2 passive houses. I myself am an artist. Hillary and her husband are both architects, and we work with local builders, local subcontractors, and we are genuinely committed to working with this community. We're here tonight because we want to build something we're genuinely proud of. 2 modest homes designed to passive house standards that fit into the landscape and into the values of the community. So what we're asking, as you mentioned is we are requesting a single area variance, minimum lot size only for one lot. We are proposing a 2-lot subdivision on our 5.19 acre parcel. Lot 1 is exactly 3 acres, and that would be the lot that would face and be adjacent on the street side. And that's fully conforming. Lot 2, which would sit behind that first lot, is a 2.19 acres, and that's where the variance is needed. We're not asking for any other relief, no setback variances, no height variances, just the 1 lot area variance on lot 2. So we wanted to just walk you briefly through the plat so that you understand what it is that we're looking at. I don't know, I've sent these documents before. I don't know if everyone has had a chance to take a look at it
through.
or not. Yes, okay. So here, trying to do this in a way so you understand. I mean, I'm sure you probably are all familiar with Glasgow Turnpike. So this is the property here. And this is here we have the survey. So, and then just starting, if you're coming from the west, this is what the road looks like. I'm just trying to give you a sense of the frontage of the property currently. So we're going downhill. Also, this is instructive that we've made a topographical model of the property. It's obviously shifted a little bit, so this is cut out here.
Yes.
We might want to invite the public up so that they can have a chance to see what's being presented. You should feel free to gather around if you want to.
So this is,
Thank you very
So
much.
if there's any members of the public here participate in this proceeding or observe it, please feel free to come up and look at any of the materials that are being referred to.
Yeah, there'll be an opportunity to comment on the public hearing,
Yeah, sure.
on the public hearing later. So if you could just let the applicant make their presentation to the board without interruption, that would be appreciated.
so, okay, perfect. I'll continue.
Yeah.
So Glasgow Turnpike is here, and just from an orientation standpoint, I can turn this a little bit, but that's here on the property, and you can see that there's a stream that runs adjacent to the property, and then through a portion of the property in the rear. This is where this stream cuts through the property. So there is an increase in elevation from the lower portion of the property. Here, looking at this correctly, yes, this is the driveway of the house that's on the east side, and then coming up the hill and then looking directly at the property this way. This is what you're confronted with. So there's a increase in elevation, kind of a ridge that rests on the property here, and you're kind of seeing this in this topographical model here. So does all that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so then, what we're proposing is currently this is 5.19 acres. We're proposing to subdivide this into the 1 3-acre conforming lot, which would be here in the front. And we have this is where the subdivision is, and then have the non-conforming parcel in the rear. So effectively, this non-conforming parcel is not visible from the street. And the goal in doing this is so that we can build 2 more modest homes. So we have a little model of a home. This is for another project that we're working on. So it's actually a little bit smaller, but the house would be probably about this size and sit here. So with this idea that it's up from this ridge from the street, really with the goal that both of these properties are more modest in size, and they sit back and they sit into the woods as much as possible, and really are not visible from the street.
There's no structure on the property now.
Currently, no structure on the property, right?
And what about on the adjacent share of property?
There's a house on that small parcel,
Okay.
and that is what you're seeing here. And that's there's a U-shaped driveway that's in front of this house here.
And where's the other? You only have one house.
Yeah, the other house would go back there.
We only built one house.
Yeah.
So-
Again, this is a house that we're working on. We're gonna show you some photos. Really, it's gonna be about right here.
And what's your intention? What are you planning to do with these 2 homes?
We're planning to build them, and they'll be available.
So you're not planning to live on? You're
I
planning
mean,
to
look,
build
we
them and
we
sell
would
them.
we would love to potentially live in one of them, but you know, our goal is focused on building this size passive houses. And you know, Hillary's an architect, and we're working on this model so that we can really create this type of house that's very specific. So that's the focus. When we get to the end point, we can see what happens with that.
Is there a map with the topo lines plotted on it in the package?
This does, this does have the topo lines here.
Might not have shown.
It's on the second page, probably not. It's probably not coming up that clearly. It should be on the second page. You see the lines there?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because they are, this is a slightly different plat than, you know, I conform them to the 11 by 17 for the.
Okay. If you could submit the map with the topo lines on it, that would.
Yeah, we can leave this with you, that.
Yeah,
would you-
electronic version would be great.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, we can leave the model. So I don't know if you want that. It's possible, you know, we made it so you can understand what it is that we're looking at. And then in terms of the site itself, you know, again, we want these houses to sit as, you know, far back into the woods as possible and really maintain the character of the property as is to the greatest
I
extent
think
you
a
can.
good point too, Aaron, is that, so the 3-acre lot with the house is a little bit larger. We were trying to proportionally size the house for the home as well. So that the one closer to,
This
on
is-
the larger lot is a little bit.
Well, this is a little, but the how we have it here is a little bit smaller, and this is.
Well, I'm saying
Oh,
the footprint.
The footprint, right. So this is, you know, we've drawn this way because this would likely have 2
Yeah.
floors, and this would likely be, you know, lower to the ground in 1 floor.
How can you assuage our concern that if we were to grant the variance, once that's done, you would have the ability, in other words, the variance runs with the property, it doesn't run with you.
Right. From
So
a
how can
legal
you
standpoint.
assuage our concern that you wouldn't sell the subdivided property
Right, that's a
to
great.
someone who might build
Yes.
something different than you're telling us?
Right. I mean, that seems like, you're the attorney.
Yes.
Yes. How do we effectuate that as part of this? I mean, that's a legal question, right? That there would need to be something written into that would, you know, essentially bind our hands to live up to what we're saying that we're going to do.
I mean,
Well,
Probably more happen
we
at the
can't
planning board.
exceed our jurisdiction. It'd be up to you to sort of propose a mechanism for that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm happy to do that.
and this may be a stupid question or a silly question,
I mean, I feel like I'm the one that's asking the stupid questions.
but why do you need to do this? I mean, you bought the property knowing what the size was. You could build one home on it and sell it to somebody. Why do you need to subdivide it to build 2 homes?
Well, if we're going to build one home on this property, it's going to be a much bigger house. And chances are, you know, the correct location for the larger house is here, right? So we're talking about a house here that is going to be significantly larger, right? I mean, there's no restriction on it. It could be 6,000 square feet. It could be 8,000 square feet. And there's actually there's a likely view shed from the front of the property. So, you know, what would really happen on this property for one house is that, you know, a very, very large house gets built here, and there's a lot of clear cutting that gets done on the front of the property to open up a view. And, you know, we really feel that we love this property. It's a gorgeous piece of land, and we want to maintain it to the greatest degree possible. And we're also focused on the type of house that we're building, which we're gonna present to you also, because we have another.
I have
project
another
that's
stupid
under-
question. The house in that picture is part of the property?
No, this is the
No.
house that's here. Yeah.
Okay, so there's no existing structures?
No existing structure on the property.
Okay.
Existing house, will the driveway be?
The driveway would be here, and this house it's actually very close to the road and the property line. So I think, you know, that house is
Where's the
demarcated
driveway?
exactly.
It's at the very edge of the property,
The driveway's on the left side of the property.
Not near the stream.
not near, nowhere near the stream.
Oh, is that where the logging road is?
The logging road is in the back over here. Doesn't.
No, there's one that comes right up to Woodstock. I mean, to the Glasgow.
Oh, really? On the property?
I don't know if it's your.
Yeah, because we saw, there's a logging road that runs on the edge of the property
Alright.
here. Basically on the lot line, so close to where the driveway would be. An old logging road.
So does the, am I allowed to ask a question?
Not really. We will give you an opportunity. Okay,
Yeah, there's a few, I'm trying to stay in order of my minute, which is okay. So, I mean, you were actually getting to the next point of the presentation, really, which is the by right comparison. So, basically what we could do on this property, which is that we could build a 6,000 or 8,000 square foot home, and it could have two separate driveways, right, onto the county road. It could be, we can clear it right. We can clear the trees, and that's not what we're proposing. And the variance enables us to build two more modest homes that are sited deep into the property, behind the trees, into the woodland, and then just work with, one curb cut. So really, this is the focus, is we want to maintain the property as much as possible. And this, after studying this extensively, we feel is the best approach for doing that.
I mean, it seems a little odd to me that part of your justification for doing this is because you love the property, you want to preserve the property. And I take from what you're saying, if you don't get the variance, you're talking about clear cutting and building a gigantic home.
No, I'm not saying that we're gonna do that. We're saying that is a very likely outcome. I mean, if we don't get the variance, I'm not sure, what we'll do.
How many square feet are the proposed?
The proposed
houses?
are 1,900 and 2,200.
Right, do you have any questions at this point?
No.
Warren?
No.
Okay. Anything
Can I-
else critical you?
I mean,
If you're gonna
wanted
go
to-
into basic passive house, because it's not super pertinent to what you're asking, I ask you to keep it brief.
Okay, yeah, Hillary was gonna talk about passive house
I don't have to. if it's
briefly,
not,
so
necessary.
understand what the goals and objectives are of
Mhm.
what we're
If there are-
building.
Yeah, if there are questions, I'm happy.
I'm very familiar with it.
Okay,
So
all right,
if
fantastic.
anybody has questions on the board, I can answer them.
I mean, we have, just to, give you an idea, this is a project that we're working on currently in Ellenville. And you can see, definitely the modest size, and just, we kind of bring, you're probably familiar with the blower door test, if you're familiar with, we just did.
I'm certified.
Oh,
20
really?
years ago, not anymore.
Wow, incredible. Okay, so we have a lot more to talk about. So just giving you some idea of, the approach and what we're doing. And we were very excited to get this first blower door test because it actually really significantly exceeded what the modeling was with the design of the house. This is an incredibly tightly sealed, very energy efficient structure that's mostly filled with fibers, very sustainable insulation.
Okay. We're gonna give you an opportunity to speak, okay? All right.
Oh, this also is a couple of photographs of the interior of the property. I wanted to, if it makes sense to you, I'll ask you just from a time standpoint, that I was going to go through the 5 factors under 267B.
If you want to do that very quickly.
Okay, it is also,
It's in the narrative.
yeah, I've given you a much more, it's a much longer explanation within the
If
narrative.
you could
that
briefly
you
do it
can-
just for the
that you
members
can
of the
Yes.
public.
Right,
Yes.
okay. So factor 1, here, I need to get this. You have this. Just to look at the, which you have here, but I'm also just pulling it out here. This is the acreage. Factor 1 is, will the variance produce an undesirable change in neighborhood character or a detriment to nearby properties? Here presenting the acreage comparison map, which shows every parcel in the R3 district that is less than 3 acres. And there are significant, so here is the parcel in question, and then all of the other, sub 3 acre parcels are all identified. So you can see that essentially that there is a significant number of existing parcels that are smaller. Factor 2, can the benefit be achieved by some feasible method other than a variance? There is no feasible alternative, and we've exhausted every option. The town code's permitted modification under 2620 requires a formula that doesn't apply to a 5.1 acre parcel. And we can get into that. It's also in factor 3 in terms of the subdivision to create a parcel that is greater than 2 acres and less than 3 acres.
How are you defining the benefit that is coming from your request?
The benefit of subdividing the property.
Yeah.
That by subdividing the property that we're more able to maintain the rural character of this property.
Okay.
And that is the approach, that is our approach to evaluating and in terms of the planning of what we're doing.
For factor 2, your position is that this is the only feasible means of maintaining the character of the property.
Theoretically, you could build a 1,900 square foot building, just one, right?
Sure. I mean, theoretically, we could do nothing and just leave the property unbuilt. But that's not what's going to happen with this property.
Right.
That is never going to happen with this property.
I'm just trying to understand your positions. So my understanding of your position on item factor 2 is that the benefit that you perceive can't be achieved without this is keeping the property in a rural character.
That for us and for our plan, that the way to maintain the property in the most rural condition possible is to build 2 smaller, more modest houses.
Okay.
Yes,
Right.
that's correct. As opposed to having to build a significantly larger house.
Okay.
Which is really what the alternative would be.
All right. Factor 3.
Factor 3 is the requested variance substantial. Yes, we acknowledge that the lot 2 is 27% below the minimum, but lot 2 at 2.19 acres exceeds the 2 acre floor that the town's own code establishes as the minimum possible lot size in R3. And the entire development, both homes, is served by 1 driveway, and the actual impact on this corridor is less than the number alone suggests. And will the variance have an adverse effect on physical or environmental conditions? As you can see, and that we're discussing in terms of what we're planning to build, that we have a tremendous focus on the environmental conditions of the property, and that's really very important and very significant for us. Factor 5, was the difficulty self-created? And I think that some of your questions are speaking to that. And we do acknowledge that yes, we bought a parcel that falls short of the threshold for 2 conforming lots, and we have explored other alternatives first. But we also acknowledge that self-created hardship is one factor among 5 in this analysis, and it doesn't independently bar relief. And we believe this kind of development, that this variance enables 2 modest, high-performance passive homes in the woods, is exactly the kind of thoughtful construction that this community would want to encourage. We believe this application is consistent with what this board is here to protect: 2 modest, sustainable homes in the woods, setback from the road, accessed by 1 driveway, with the natural character of the parcel intact.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We also have the written narrative and the maps, which you were kind enough to give to us, which
And we'll
part of the record.
leave
Yes.
this
Anything
also.
you want us to consider, please leave so we can make it part of the record. John, anything else you think we should inquire about before we invite members of the public to speak to us?
No, but you may want to do the other business that we have on the grid. Kim, you can walk the board through, we'll do the secret classification
sure.
and get that.
Yeah,
over, and then
yeah,
we
so
can-
just,
then we can open the
yeah,
public
some
hearing.
procedural matters. So under seeker, the State Environmental Quality Review Act, we recommend this should be a type 2 action. One of the criteria is the granting of an area variance for a single family home. So if you agree, you can make a motion that this is a type 2 action under 617.5C17.
Okay, I will make a motion that this is a type 2 secret action under 617.5C17.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay, and we're gonna make some referrals.
Yes, so under the town of Woodstock zoning law, when an area variance is sought in respect to a subdivision, you do have to ask for written recommendation from the town of Woodstock Planning Board. So we should make that recommendation, referral out to the planning board, asking a recommendation. And also under general municipal law 239N, certain, if you're within 500 feet of a state or county road, which I believe Glasgow Turnpike is, you have to refer it out to the Ulster County Planning Board. I spoke with Michelle earlier, because sometimes certain actions have been exempt. The only way it's exempt here is if has central water and sewer, which I don't believe this does.
No.
So if that's the case, we should also refer it out to Ulster County Planning Board.
Okay, and was there an additional request to refer it or seek input from?
You can seek an advisory opinion from the Woodstock Environmental Commission.
Okay. All right, I am going to make a motion that pursuant to council's advice and those sections cited, that we refer this to the Woodstock Planning Board, the Ulster County Planning Board, and that we seek an advisory opinion from the Woodstock Environmental Committee.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay,
And with regard to the Woodstock Environmental Committee, they may want to come look at the site. Do they need to get in touch with you first?
I'm representing the environmental commission tonight.
Terrific. Maybe you can speak with the applicant about making a site visit.
Yeah, we
if
do
you
like
guys
to do
want
site visits.
Okay, terrific.
okay. Anything else?
You want to make a motion to open the public hearing?
Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Second.
Anyone opposed? All right. I don't know how many people here would like to address the zoning board. I will just say, welcome all of your comments, but if there are a couple of people who are able to be spokespeople and can sort of provide us with the general view of the group for efficiency, that will be helpful. We will note that there are several more people here who share the same view. And if anybody has a particular point of view or statement or wants to offer anything that's not covered, please we don't want anyone to feel like they can't offer, but we don't need cumulative input. So who would like to speak first?
And,
Just one
before-
other thing, Joe, I wanted
Yes.
to add is that, just so that the public knows, the plan is not to close the public hearing tonight. So this will not be the only opportunity. The public hearing will be continued over to the next zoning board of appeals meeting. So there will be another opportunity to speak.
And if you, when you come up to address the board, if you could also, the board is going to be the one making the decision. So if you could please address the board, don't have a back and forth with the applicant. And if you could also just clearly state your name for the record, so that Michelle can an address too.
All right, who would like to speak first?
I've been nominated.
Okay, wonderful. We like nominations.
So good evening, thanks for the forum. I'm Andrew Shearer. I'm 1840 Glasgow Turnpike. I'll get to the map in a moment. We did anticipate being a spokesperson, so some of the people here and all of the immediately surrounding properties have given me the okay to speak on their behalf, as well as neighbors up and down Glasgow and on Raybrook. I'll rattle off a few names just so that that goes into the record as well. Mark at Molnar, ourselves, my wife Adina, and myself, Jerry Jakovic and Danielle Modzalewski, Daniel and Leah Rubenstein, Mia Hatkin, I'm sorry, I'm mangling that, Avis and Joe Tuchin, and as I say, neighbors in adjoining neighborhoods. You may have already seen, it should be part of the record, I sent an email to the board for
Yes,
the
we
benefit
have.
of those here. I'll just highlight it, and then I'd like to return to the map for a moment. So we are unanimously opposed to this particular plan.
And I'm sorry, just for the record, we
Yes.
received on May 7th, 2026, an email from Andy Shearer addressing this. That's the email you're referring to?
That would be me,
Okay,
yes.
so we have it and it will
Great.
become part of the record.
Okay, very good. The very first item, which speaks to the zoning itself, if I can get to the map for just a moment.
If you break the model, you gotta pay for it.
Yeah, I know. I should have done some Melrose glue, right?
If you break it, it's yours.
We can use,
Really?
I'm not sure if I want it. So we'll refer to this. This is the property that Adina and I currently own, adjacent to
Is
this.
that the one with the house? That's
Yes, and that is my house in that photograph. The house is roughly here, where this first lower line of text is. This is 1 acre. It's actually 0.99. One of the concerns that we have is that given a variance, this is now 6.18 contiguous acres. You will end up with 3 homes on 6 acres. So that variance kind of blocks off these, but you have a home here, a home here, a home here. So that seems to go quite against the spirit of the 3-acre zoning, if not perhaps the letter of the law. We have concerns about the wetlands, water courses, and buffers. We know about the stream, the Fountain Kill that runs on the eastern side of the property. When you go back to these areas here, the Molnar's property adjacent, and this back part, there are a lot of vernal wetlands. Those things come and go. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Glasgow. So it's, yes, it is along this edge and back in this territory. So there's a lot of wetlands that may not appear on any given site visit, but if you visit the property over the course of a year, those become evident, and we know that those have issues. Again, trying to be respectful of your time.
Don't skip it. I'm sorry.
I won't skip anything. We had Paul Rubin of HydroQuest walk the property with us when it was last up for sale 3 years ago, and look at the opportunities for siting homes, look at the opportunities for wells, look at the opportunities for septic. The vast majority of this property has very little to no soil cover over the bedrock that is all around us. I have his report, and I think I didn't quote anything in here, but very shallow depth to bedrock, concerns about septic drain fields, concerns about where those would go given the waters that are present and the ones that come and go with the rains. Wells have been a significant issue for many of us over the last number of summers. Lots of us have experienced our wells going dry. We have concerns about being adjacent to 2 new wells tapping into the same shallow water table. So we're looking for proper studies, perk tests, well drawdown tests, should this move forward. Let's see.
Can I
Yes.
ask you, of the 5 factors that the zoning board is required to consider,
Sure.
one of them addresses changes that will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties. And another one addresses adverse effects or impacts on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood. Would you like to address either of those two factors?
Well, I think that the concern of 3 houses on 6 acres addresses that first one that was cited. The second one, the greatest concern that I would come up with right now would be, we talk about, we have a very long driveway being proposed, and I need to talk about the location of this driveway as well. It runs the entire length of this property. It wraps around our western side. It makes a 90-degree turn, makes a 90-degree turn, goes almost the full length of this property. I believe it says it's 20, no, there's a 50-foot buffer. I think it's meant to be a 20-foot wide driveway. That's a lot of clearing and paving. If these are going to be energy efficient houses, I don't know if solar is in play for them. Given the wooded nature of this land, that means even more clearing in order to create enough space for solar. Our property was cleared when we renovated. We did put solar on the roof, and getting the height and the clearance for trees, we were told by the installers that we were one of the few houses that wouldn't have had to cut trees. And that we were lucky. I have a great deal of concern over what happens there.
May I comment on a safety concern?
Sure.
So what we're going
I
to do
would
is
say
do it
we're-
one at a time.
Okay.
So we'll give you an opportunity when Mr. Shearer is done.
So thank you. The last thing that I would have, I mean, I have in my letter notes of just how much habitat is clearly existent back there, the amount of wildlife, the raptors that we see. They will be disrupted. We have the bears going through our yards as it is. Any further disruption may have them visit more. Human-animal interaction, not a great thing. I'll leave it and then let Danny speak. Talking about this driveway and its location. You can see in the photos here, my house sits at not quite the crest of a very steep hill. I'm a bicyclist. That's about a 9% grade that I cycle up. Where they're trying to put it doesn't have anywhere near the sight lines that are required in the town code, which I think is about 400 and something feet. Doesn't have it in either direction. So besides the fact that there's a great deal of driveway to serve those 2 houses, I don't think that Ulster or Woodstock Town, looking at that specific location, would be able to approve that. As it is, last January, a car coming in the other direction on that curve went off the road and landed right in my front yard. There's a report with the Woodstock Police Department on that. It's a pretty dangerous place, and to serve 2 houses with that driveway cut is really concerning. And I think Danny's got something to add. Specific to that.
Before the gentleman goes, can I make a
Of course.
statement, Joe? So I just want to explain for the benefit of the public, because the chairman alluded to it a little bit earlier. So the zoning board of appeals has to operate within their jurisdiction that's been given to them by the Woodstock zoning law. And so area variances are subject to a test that's the same for every municipality in the state. It's a balancing test, and there are 5 mandatory factors that the board has to consider as part of the test. And if you grab at some point the May 7th narrative that was submitted by the applicant, they've actually accurately recited the 5 factors of the test in that narrative, so that will let you know what they are. But the board's inquiry is going to be confined to facts and circumstances that bear upon those 5 factors. if it should come to a point where an area variance is granted for this application, it's going to require subdivision approval from the planning board. And then there'll be another review at the planning board that's going to look at a different scope of considerations, the things that are set forth in your subdivision regulations. So a lot of you probably know this stuff already, I see you nodding. It's good to understand the process so that you can focus it's easiest for the board and most efficient for the board if you can focus your comments on the 5 factors that they're going to have to consider as part of the balance.
Yeah.
So,
And
with
some,
that in mind, I would like to speak next, Danny.
okay, that's fine.
The chair.
Yes, and just to follow up on council's statement, some of the 5 factors may not be ones that you would comment on. They're, particular legal tests, but anyway, please come up,
So-
state your name and.
Sure. My name is Adina Shearer and I live at 1840 Glasgow Turnpike. And I just wanted to clarify for zoning purposes that the properties, I'm guessing, I don't know about all the other properties other than my own, that are below the R3 were grandfathered in because they became those properties decades ago. The house that we purchased 4 years ago was a 0.99 acre house that was built in 1960 something. So it's not that it was a variance given now after the town decided that in order to maintain a certain ratio of homes and green spaces, to not let more houses be in the circumstance that our house is, so that they would have 3 acres. And golly, I wish I had had the money to buy more acreage and have 3 acres or 6 acres. That's not the case. And in respect of the town's intention, I would hope that the zoning board looks not at, oh, there are so many houses that already are, not conforming to R3 zone. And it's not because they have variances, it's because they were pre-existing, and it's exactly because of those that the R3 exists. So I would request to look at it from that perspective. And I don't know what those other, exactly what you're covering in terms of allowing for a variance for 2 houses on a property that may not be able to support septic and well. I mean, if that's a consideration, I think it's of major issue, because when we walked that property with Paul Rubin, who's the hydrologist, he said that it's bedrock. No one, and we weren't thinking of anybody building houses anyway, but that there's no way to go down. They would all have to be above ground septics. It was not something to consider in that way. So
Okay,
I don't
thank you.
know, but I
Thank
wanted to just clarify that, because the statement was made that there are so many that are non-conforming, but they
Understood.
don't,
Thank you.
we're not there because we got.
Did anybody else want to address us?
Yes. My name is Danny Rubenstein. I live at 1835 Glasgow Turnpike, which is directly across the street from the proposed project. I have several concerns. My first concern relates to safety. And if I may come to the map and point something out to you. If you can focus on this portion of the map, it shows Glasgow Turnpike. And Andy alluded to the fact that there isn't really a lot of clearance on this bend. This bend has a 25-mile-per-hour speed limit on it, which is not obeyed. Trucks periodically go with 40, 50, and 60 around here. when I purchased my home, which is this lot right here, I had a circular driveway. And my driveway started here. And it came out right over here, exactly across the street from the curb cut being requested in this plan. And prior to my moving into the house, I was very upset that the town of Ulster decided to shut down that circular driveway because of the dangerous nature of this particular curve. So I'm pleased. I'm pleased to hear that you're going to ask for the input of the Ulster County Planning Board. I also appreciate it if you could ask for the input from the Ulster County Highway Department. In particular, I had some very tough
Is that something we
conversations
can do? No.
with Ken DeFries of that department as I tried
Planning board. Yeah.
to access my circular driveway, which they absolutely refused.
Our council is telling me that we cannot make a referral to the highway department.
That'd be more in the planning.
But the
board's
planning
jurisdiction.
board will consider that.
Fine.
Okay.
Related to
So
that.
we understand the point
Related
that-
to that, it's my belief that the plan that's presented needs to be modified so that the driveway does have the clearance that is required by law. And as I look at the plot and the area, to me, the only other place to put a driveway would be further down the hill adjacent to the stream. And you folks made the recommendation for a secret type 2. And I don't know if you made that recommendation because the construction of the driveway was so far away from the stream. But in the event, the county of Ulster says this driveway needs to be put someplace else, then I question whether a secret type 1 may require it. I'm no expert on secret, but I am concerned.
Yeah,
All
so
right, well-
with the type 2 action, it's a particular list, it's a predetermined list, and it's just a general description. So the reason that we said type 2 is because it's the purpose of the subdivision is for building a single family home. That had nothing to do with the driveway
Or the proximity.
or the
to
proximity
stream.
to the
In
street.
other words, on the lists that were, the classification list was put together by the DEC. And they created boxes, and you see which box a particular project falls into. And the type 2 actions are actions that have been determined already by DEC to fall below the threshold that requires.
Okay.
environmental
So
review under
I'm just gonna recast what you said about the safety issue of the driveway as an undesirable result of what's being proposed.
That's correct. And when an oil truck leaves my property, when I leave my property in my pickup truck, it is very, very dangerous. I've come very close to having many accidents. And I think Andy mentioned an accident not too long ago, and there've been a lot of cases where the cars just run off the road because the curve is so steep and the motorists don't follow the speed limit.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, I would also just like to reinforce the point made about the density. With the house across the street being on 1 acre, it puts a number of homes at a very high density in our neighborhood. And as Andy pointed out, wells have gone dry and it's on a very steep hill. And I think it runs the risk of sewer seepage going downhill and impacting the stream further down and impacting the homes further down. So again, I would encourage the environmental review to be very careful about that.
Thank you. We have 2 people, so who wants to go?
I'll be short.
Okay, great. Short is good.
I'm Susan Painter. I'm the chair of the Woodstock Environmental Commission, and I live on Raybrook Drive. But I'm here tonight speaking on behalf of the Environmental Commission. And I want to just thank you first, because one of my efforts tonight was to appeal to you to have us be an advisory to the ZBA as we are with the planning board. We work very closely with the planning board. So thank you for
You're
that.
welcome.
And we often do site visits for the planning board. So I'm not sure if we worked with the ZBA for the site visit or the planning board for the site visit. So you'll let me know.
For now, this is just in front of the ZBA.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that would be where we
Right.
would make that arrangement. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just want to say, we have many environmental concerns. For one, this very long driveway is an impermeable surface because it's going to be going up a hill. They're not going to be able to just put gravel there. That's also an environmental issue. I think that the fact that it's next to the Fountain Kill, that there are buffer zones, that we've got vernal pools that we may not see when we do a site visit because they're seasonal, but we know that they've been located and identified. And also there's definitely wetlands in that area. And we know that there are hawks, eagles. It's a foraging area for a number of species. So we have a lot of concerns about habitat destruction. So I think that the piece on the ZBA about the environment is definitely a very serious concern for this property. And we look forward to helping you with advice.
Okay. We look forward to hearing your advice.
I'm Mark Cantor, 24 Adams Road. I'm one of the founding members and the current president of the Woodstock Rotary Club, which is a membership organization that does local service projects and
You didn't bring us any
international.
pancakes, Mark.
I will next time. And before that, I was on the Woodstock Bird Cliff Guild
Yes.
board with Joe.
Yes.
And we just helped Susan with Earth Week. So we really believe in Rotary, in community service. I'm also an associate broker at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I run a team called the Maverick Team. We're made up of 7 real estate agents. We're all almost all of us are connected to the arts in some way. I'm a painter. I used to teach at Columbia University. I used to teach at Woodstock School of Art. I've been a member of this community for 30 years. And I've been asked to be, because of my connection to the community, because always seeking and to serve the community and be a good actor in the community. I've been asked by many developers to help them do development in this area. And I've refused every single one of those requests over the last 10 years of being a real estate broker, except when I was asked to work with these guys. And I want to give you some context about these guys. I really appreciate that that everybody's bringing really legitimate concerns. I think it's part of the nature of our community that we do look at these factors. And I also understand that a lot of these factors will be things that will be hashed out in the planning board process and the building permits that they would get if they were able to do the 2 homes on with the variance. Woodstock has changed a lot. I heard the applause about no development. I have a development near me that's probably going to happen. Terramore, that property, the community fought and defeated, and now there's going to be a development of a few houses in there. It's going to happen.
Not 77.
No,
cabins.
yes, exactly. So what will we have happen in our community? I don't know that these guys are going to build something on this property if they can't do these 2 beautiful houses. I would encourage you to make an appointment with me to go look at the house that they're building in Ellenville if you want to see what the nature of these homes are and how it's going to affect your neighborhood, because they're beautifully designed. They're super highly efficient. This town is a progressive town that should be supporting this kind of building. We should, and the alternative, just the economic reality of the alternative is what we're seeing being built on Ohio Mountain Road right now. $2.5 million house. Somebody will buy that house. Somebody will buy a $2.5 million house here, probably have to have a pool. These are just market realities I'm sharing with you from my perspective as your neighbor and community member and somebody who's devoted to this community and what really could happen here. That person who's going to pay $2.5 million for this house, I know your house because you bought it from Gary Harrison. my dear departed friend who I collaborated on a book with. I know your house, I've been in your house a million times. Somebody could chop down every single tree, it's not in a scenic overlay, in order to get a mountain view, and put a pool in here, have all sorts of environmental impact that is unforeseeable. And then who is that neighbor? These guys want to build 2 homes that a normal person gainfully employed and with a decent income could afford to live in, not just to buy, but afford to live in because of the energy efficiency. These are affordable houses to actually be in, to keep for the long term. Could be a wonderful family in each of these 2 houses. God only knows what a 4,000, 6,000, 8,000 square foot house, whether it's these guys building it, which would be much better, or somebody else building a McMansion on that property, what that would be like. So I think it's important for our community to consider what is the spirit and the reason these zoning laws were put in place in the first place. The irony here is that the by right ability to build, and yes, there'll be planning boards, there'll be septic designs, there'll be all sorts of things that have to go through the process. But by right, what could be built here is so far out of the nature of what the zoning intended that it behooves us all to consider that this really considerate group of architects who want to, who have to make a living like everybody else. They want to do this. This is their passion as well as their métier. That they want to do something that will impact you actually really much less than what could happen here.
Okay.
And I guarantee you that something's going to happen.
You're talking a lot
Hang on a
longer than
second.
anyone could
Hang
be
on.
given permission to
Excuse me,
speak.
excuse me.
And it's I'm sorry. but it's a
Excuse me.
commercial.
Well, I'm sharing my opinion.
Mark.
I'm sorry if I upset you.
But you're not letting,
But I'll-
we're not
I'll
allowed.
stop.
we're not gonna have back and
The
forth.
2 of you do not need to
You know
speak
what?
to each other.
I'm happy with ending it there.
Yeah.
Thank you for hearing me.
We appreciate
I'm
your,
not trying to give you a commercial. I'm just trying to give you
Yeah.
a sense
Yeah,
of from somebody who's with you on the big issues in our community. I want to give you a sense of where the market realities and that overlap.
Mark,
It's not-
thank you.
You're welcome.
Just hang on a second. I appreciate your comments. We'll consider what you said in light of the 5 factors that we have to consider. I do think that some of what's being said about what could happen on the property and things like that are pretty speculative. But we'll consider, I understand the point that Aaron and you were making about what could happen to the property if the variance isn't granted. So, all right, one more person. You
Can I
don't
just
say
make
anything
one
else.
quick comment?
Sure.
Because I tried to stop Terramore and Xena Development and each time, every single developer that has proposed something, including the old Terramore property and Xena Development, they all say it's going to be an environmentally built home, passive solar. We're going to bring this environmental home to your community,
Right.
and it will be a modest home. Every
Right.
single developer has said.
Well, part of the
exact
reason
same
I
thing.
raised the issue that the variance goes with the property is because once we grant the variance, our control over what happens
Exactly.
is more
But
limited.
they're-
And
exactly,
this
we
is
don't know
this is
what
an
will really
ongoing
happen.
issue. So
because they're
anyway,
all
you are going to have the last word,
Thank
except I'm
you.
going to have Aaron,
Thank you.
when she's done, just very briefly address the driveway because it's come up. So we'll have her speak, you'll address the driveway, and then we're going to close the hearing.
My name is Leah Rubenstein. I live at 1835 Glasgow Turnpike, and I wasn't prepared to speak. But when I was here listening to them talk about what they were going to propose, and I heard what I took as a threat. If you don't let us do the 2 houses, I'm going to build a massive house and I'm going to cut down trees. And on the same hand, he's telling you he's environmentally concerned and he cares about it. And then I look at this and I see all this bedrock and I wanted to say, well, how about blasting? How much blasting do you intend to do to hit water, to be able to make a foundation? Do you plan on a basement? What are your plans? He just wants to build a $2.5 million house if he can't get his little house. I mean, what am I supposed to do as a person that lives across the street when I've been threatened? I'm being threatened by somebody that is supposedly wants to build safe houses. There's plenty of places to build safe houses. Why would you tuck them in behind a whole bunch of houses, ruin our septic? We almost lost our well and we have a deep well. I mean, I don't want to lose my water. I love living in Woodstock. I'm one of the 10% that's here full time. I adore this place and I don't want to see it destroyed and the animals. I lost 45 chickens in 15 minutes when they built the Moss Road thing and they destroyed trees all over. All the predators came and found my chickens. I've got goats. You know, they're in terror. My dogs are in terror to go out at night now because the coyotes have all had to be moved from that development that moved to this area. I'm just really concerned what it's doing to the environment and my safety with water. And
Thank
water
you.
means a lot to me.
All right.
Can I quickly respond? Because
No more. No. We got it.
All right.
Aaron?
You just want to address the driveway.
Correct. The number of people mentioned that the driveway was going to be particularly impactful.
Yes, well, I mean, certainly
Can you just show us where it is?
Yes, the driveway is here on this edge of the property. And certainly, the sight lines need to be looked at. We have made an initial assessment of the sight lines and we believe that we will conform to the requirements. But this is where the driveway is proposed.
It just goes up and over.
It just goes straight. It follows the property line here, right? Like this is
the rear lot.
Oh, yeah, yes. So we have a wider driveway here until it breaks off, and then this is just, the narrowest driveway you can have here coming back to.
So why is this shade, what's the shading represent? Because this is a driveway, I'm assuming it's just, is this the whole driveway, this whole?
It's
width, or is it
yes,
just-
no, yeah, yes, it's for this portion.
Oh, that's a
yes,
right of way.
Yes.
For the
Right,
rear lot. It means that because the lot 2 in the back doesn't have direct access to the road, they would be given permission from the lot 1 owner to cross onto
Right,
the
yeah, so
property.
it comes out to here, and then the driveway narrows considerably, and then there's already an existing, an old logging road that runs here.
That's not on that property, that's on Margaret's property. The road is on Margaret's
I
property.
mean, we're not building exactly on the road there, but there, there's a area here that makes sense to put a driveway.
No, can I approach, please? What your
Yes.
intention is to build directly around my property so that then our views from the existing house that's been there for 50 years suddenly is of this driveway that's going back and of the septic and of the cut downs so that these houses and driveways can exist. And that.
Okay, we got
that's
it. We
the new-
understand. Thank you,
And
thank
it's
you.
too close.
Mark, 15 seconds.
Okay, I just want to make sure people understand that
Don't address them. If you have something you want to
I
address
just
to
want
us.
to, all right, addressing the board, I don't think that the developers in this case, nor would I ever consider trying to make a threat. I just wanted to make sure that the community understands that the nature of this project is substantially better than what could potentially be developed
Right.
there
No,
already. by right.
we
And
understand.
it's not a threat. It's
We're
just
not
like,
taking it as a threat. We
let's-
understand that your
yeah. Let's
position.
just as a community just realize that
Okay.
we can prevent bad development from happening
We
by
got
allowing good
it.
development.
We understand that your view is that the benefit,
Yeah.
which is
Otherwise, I
preventing
wouldn't be saying
some
this.
other type of development or use can't be achieved.
One quick question.
A question?
Yes, about this driveway.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Just ask us so we could, I don't want
It's
you
just a
questioning each other.
concern because, sorry, Avis Tuchin, I live at 1819 Glasgow Turnpike. I'm on the other side of the road. And my property does not abut this property. One of the concerns I have about this driveway is, first of all, does it meet the specs of the Woodstock Fire Department? Because this is a pretty barren area as far as
That's a
water. I mean, there is the stream.
That's a planning board issue.
Okay, but what I'm just wondering is, I don't know what the width of the road has to be and whether this meets the specs of the zoning board. Because if it has to be wider, that means then they need even more property because it's going to be taking away property from the lot sizes. I just wanted to bring that
Thank
to
you,
your attention.
appreciate it. Okay, Martin, anything additional?
I'm good.
Greg?
No.
John, anything you think we should ask or do?
No.
I have
We need
one-
just to take a vote to continue.
And
Yes,
actually, I
we'll do
have
that.
yeah, and I have a suggestion. So there's been a couple of comments about the vernal pools, about the stream corridor, about the wetlands on the property. Sometimes, as you know, one of the questions is if the proposed area variance will have an adverse effect on the physical or environmental conditions. The DEC, you can have the applicant request what's called a jurisdictional determination, where the DEC would then be able, what the DEC is really looking for in that is to determine if there are vernal pools under their jurisdiction or wetlands under their jurisdiction. And it tells you if you would need a wetlands permit from DEC, but it might be helpful for the board to kind of have.
And we
that
can
insight.
require that?
You can ask the applicant to ask for a jurisdictional determination from DEC.
Okay, can you provide us a jurisdictional? From the DEC?
It sounds like that's something I can do.
Yes,
So,
yeah, if you go on the website, you should be able to ask that, and they have to respond to you in 90 days, but hopefully it'll be sooner. But anyway, just because this is a question that's coming up, and it might be helpful for the board to have that information.
Okay,
great.
That certainly seems reasonable. Can I say that one more?
Very quickly.
Very quickly. I just want, I will speak directly to the board, but I would invite anyone from the community that's spoken here today to come and, come and visit us at the property that we're currently building.
And they can
so they
speak to
can
you
see
afterwards if they want to
can see
arrange
what,
that.
what it is that we're building and really understand
Will
exactly
you be
what we're
all these
proposing.
are going to be part of your
Oh,
record?
yes.
So
You can
anybody who
keep the
wants to see
photographs
these,
and,
these are part of the
know,
record. You can
yes,
ask for
right.
FOIL information.
And also, if anybody wants to visit.
I see the property out my window just.
No,
like that every
ma'am,
day.
please,
I'm sorry.
okay?
I'm emotional, I'm sorry.
I know, it's fine. If anybody wants, I think what they're offering is to go visit their other
In
property
Ellenville.
in Ellenville to see the
No,
type of structure. So I'm just relaying
Thank you.
the invitation. He's here. If you want to do that, go speak to him. Can I have a motion to close the public?
To
hearing?
continue the public.
Continue the public hearing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And that will be, on what date will be continued on?
That's what they're going to be discussing.
we don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michelle.
We need a lot of information and input, and
Got it.
so we're not voting on anything tonight. All right, can I have a motion to
Wait.
continue?
I have to do my part.
Only because you brought me snacks.
Thank you.
Okay, contiguous neighbors are Margot Molnar, sorry if I destroy everybody's name. 1848 Glasgow Turnpike, Andrew Shearer, thank you, and Adina. At 1840 Glasgow Turnpike, Gerald Jacobic and Danielle Monzalewski, 169 East 91st Street, apartment 11C in New York, Joseph Tuchin, 1819 Glasgow Turnpike, and Daniel and Leah Rubenstein, yes, 1835 Glasgow Turnpike. We did receive a letter, which Mr. Shearer, already read, and no further comments were received.
Excellent.
I also wanted to mention, Ulster County Planning Board only meets once a month, and they meet the first Wednesday of every month. And so their next meeting would be June 3rd. I will submit that paperwork tomorrow to them. I do not know 100% if it will get on the agenda for June 3rd, so it might be at a later time in July.
Great.
Just let everybody know.
Thank you, Michelle. Okay.
Will we
Yep.
be notified of that? I mean, how do we know?
I
You
would
would have
check
to go online.
on the town website
No.
under
County.
county website. Oh, you're talking about the planning,
Yes.
yeah,
It's a county. It's a
yes,
county.
sorry.
Ulster County.
Ulster
Yeah.
County.
Planning.
Thank you.
Okay, All right, and with that,
Yes.
can I have a motion to continue the public hearing?
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay. And do I need to close recess the case?
Well, the public hearing is being
Continue.
to what date?
We don't know yet.
Well, our next meeting is the 28th, which is in 2 Thursdays, but if we're giving him the opportunity.
Do you want to
All the
continue it
information.
to the next meeting and then we can continue it again?
You can.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's amend the motion to continue it to our next meeting, which is
May 28th.
May 20th.
So,
Second.
okay, sorry. Do you want to continue it to the next 2 weeks, or do you want to go out a month?
That's what I said. I said we should do it a month because if
Yeah.
we're asking
Okay,
him to
what's
have
that
more
date?
information. It's June.
Is it, let's see, June?
June 11th.
11th?
Yes.
Okay. We amend the motion to continue this case to June 11th.
Correct.
Anyone opposed?
We get in a second.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you to everybody who came and shared their views. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to expeditiously move to our next matter, which is ZBA case 26-06, application of David and Barbara Blumenthal for a property located at 135 Broad Hill Road, Willow, New York, 12495, a 3.155 acre parcel located within a R3 zoning district for a variance from the zoning law, the town of Woodstock, Article 4, Schedule of Area and Bulk Regulations, Section 260-16, Attachment 2F, for a 28-foot infringement into a 50-foot side yard setback in order to construct an addition to enlarge the kitchen and a bedroom. So,
Hello.
hi, please have a seat. Can I have a motion to open case ZBA case 26-06? Second. Anyone opposed? Okay. Are you Barbara?
Coffee for everybody here.
Are you Barbara?
No, I'm Peggy Fusco,
Okay, and you're here representing,
and I have a legal paper that says it, and I have a copy of it if you don't have it.
okay,
It says that I am,
you're here on behalf of the.
I am on
Excellent.
behalf of Barbara and David Blumenthal.
Wonderful.
Did you want a copy of this?
No, I'm fine. Thank
You
you.
have, okay.
Okay. Tell us about.
Chairman, we're going to excuse ourselves.
Excellent.
if that's
Thank
okay.
you so much for your input. Okay, tell us about your project.
Okay. Where's this thing?
You guys have any questions?
Okay, so Barbara and David bought the property in 1977. Coincidentally, same year I moved in. So they, and done different additions and improvements on their house. Inside there.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so let's see, we're all looking at this thing together. You can see that Brook Hill Road goes down here. And this is their driveway in. And, okay, so their daughter, Shira, and her husband, they recently got married and now they're pregnant. And they're gonna have a baby. And so they would like Shira's bedroom, which is right there in the house now, to be expanded so that it's big enough for, because she was the youngest girl in the family and it was the smallest bedroom. And now it's, they need it big enough for her husband and her baby, because she's gonna have a baby. So, you can see that there's no new plumbing, there's no new, it's gonna be fit in with the same color that the house is now. And, you know, it's in the back of the property. They own the property behind them.
Okay.
They own both properties. And their property already the house, as you can see on the very first page, already infringes on the 50-foot setback completely. But nobody cares because their property is up above there. I don't know what that thing is. Oh, drainage swell. Well, you know, there's a wet place where water flows a little bit. And so it's not really going to impact anybody. I can see that all the people that we notified that we're going to do this don't care. They've lived there for almost 50 years and they plan on.
They own this. So this is, yeah. They own this lot and this is where they're proposing.
Yeah, so all this is already.
And is the setback towards this lot?
Yes, the setback is towards the lot they own. right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. You're already in the setback as it is.
What?
You're already in the setback as it is.
Yeah, completely in setback. The other thing is that other piece of property goes straight up. It's just like really, really steep. Well, you could make it usable, I suppose, with the bulldozer and, you know, but that's no intention of that whatsoever. It's just, they just have it there so that nobody does build there and that they have privacy, but anyway.
All right.
And all the houses, you know, this is pretty private right here.
Mhm.
First of all, they have a whole.
I drove by and I couldn't find it.
What?
I drove by and I couldn't find it. I was like, I don't know.
Oh, you did, you went to
Yeah.
see it? Yeah. It's pretty set back. Well, right here, there's a whole hedge of evergreens and it's very private back there, but
Great.
it does go over the infringement, and so we would like to get a variance. They haven't gone forward with it much because they want to make sure they get the variance before they make all the details. But that is the basic plan.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions?
Nope.
Greg?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Should we wait for Michelle to come back?
Yes, Michelle? Can you read the contiguous neighbors? Do you take the minutes from the recording?
Yes.
Okay, great.
And
I hope I said everything.
You did. Did a great job.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, I did want to mention that there were. No, we did not get any. Yes, we did get did we get an email?
In support, yeah? See what comes through?
I see there's an email. Is it in the front of that one?
No,
No.
this is the one, and
Blumenthal?
yeah, I did not see an email. Let me just go back to you quickly.
I do see an exchange in emails with the architect.
Yes.
Where you asked them some extra questions and they think they answered them all.
Yes, I did not see any correspondence.
Okay.
Do you want to see it? I think I have.
No, that's fine. I have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, contiguous neighbors.
Chain Lines, 121 Broadville Road in Willow. Carne Bothel Family Trust at 142 Broadville Road. Times Bastion at 146 Broadville Road. Alasser Fiden, 392 Central Park West, 10 Penthouse, New York City. And City of New York, 154 Broadville Road. Antonio Luria at 164 Broadville Road.
Excellent. Is there anybody here who would like to speak? Okay, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Anyone opposed? And can I have a motion to recess case 2606?
Second.
All right, anyone opposed? Thank you so much. It
What
is.
goes on next?
So I believe that one of us may contact you to go visit the property.
Okay.
And then we have,
Do you have my cell phone number and everything?
I believe we do. Let me just double check. Let's see.
4, 5, 6, 7, 9.
Don't say that loud. Don't say
3,
that
7,
loud.
3, 3.
No,
Yes.
No, can't say it on the recording.
All right, so one of us will be in touch with you to go visit the property,
Okay.
and then we have 60 days,
62 days.
62 days to get your decision.
Okay.
Why don't you give Michelle your cell phone number before you
Okay.
go?
Yeah, it's on the
Write it down.
application.
It's on the application.
It's on the
It was
application,
a 6,
yeah.
7, 9
Okay.
number.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
is that the number,
I have a house number too, but.
is this your cell phone or your,
This right here is my cell phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says
Cool.
telephone, but that's my cell phone, 3, 7, 3,
No,
3.
no,
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 Can't say it on the recording.
okay, don't say it out loud.
Yes.
We're good, thank you so much. All right,
Thank you all
Next.
very much.
ZBA case 2607, application of Louise Cooper for property located at 6 Chester Place, Woodstock, New York, 12498. A 0.54 acre parcel located within a R5 zoning district for variances from the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, Article 4, area and bulk regulations, modification of required yards, section 260-26A for a 36-foot infringement into a minimum required 50-foot front yard setback, and section 260-26B 2B for a 25-foot infringement into a required 25-foot side yard setback in order to construct a 12-foot by 12-foot detached carport. And you are Ms. Cooper.
Yes.
Welcome. Please tell us about, oh wait, can I have a motion to open ZBA case 2607?
Second.
Anyone opposed? Can I have a motion to open the public hearing for ZBA case 2607? Anyone opposed? All right, Ms. Cooper, please tell us about your project.
I'm gonna build a carport. I'm 81 years old. I've got to put my car under something so that I don't have to spend.
What kind of car do you have? I'm joking.
I have a Subaru Forester. I can't clear the snow off when we have these big snow. It's too much for me at this point. And I want to put it directly opposite the front door of my house, which is where I have been parking my car since I moved to the house
I
13
drove by
years
that.
ago.
Were there 2 pots? Are there 2 pots on that?
That's a parking space I made when I was working in the house.
Okay.
For
But that's not
my
where you-
clients. No, this is directly in front of them. This is maybe 30 feet, 20 to 30 feet past that, down Chester Road, opposite the front door of my little blue house. And it's a private road, and I just want something to put my car under, so I can get out in winter.
Could you,
And it already gave me permission once, and I just didn't have the money to do it, so it got put off.
Yeah, it was granted with conditions.
and what were the conditions? Sorry.
No.
Could you just show us where on the property you're planning to do this?
Here's the motor club. This is my house.
Yes, I think so. You submitted that, and there's something that says my house.
Okay, it would be. It would be right here, right at the edge. Between. Off the road, right next to this piece of property, which is now massive, not Maneri.
So you own property on both sides of the
I
road?
own this property, and this property. I own all that.
Okay.
And Chester's is a tiny little road. Private road. And I pay for the plow.
So you own, this is where the house is?
Yeah, just which one's that? This one? And that.
If you'll give me, do you have a pen?
The one that says Woodstock Water, you own?
Yes, that's mine.
Okay, so you own these,
I own
these
this,
three,
this, and this.
and you want to put it
And I
on?
want to put it right here.
Okay, can I have that? Thank you.
Absolutely.
She owns this, and this, and she wants to put it right there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so the previous decision was back in 2021. It was granted with the condition that the carport shall not be built within 5 feet from the edge of road to facilitate maintenance of said road. The only difference with this resolution versus the new case is that at that previous time, it was for a 40-foot infringement into a minimum required 50-foot front yard setback. And at this time, I believe it is a 38-foot infringement. And that was granted to her back in
2021.
January 27th, 2022. And then in February 2023, she was granted an extension that was passed 5 in favor, 0 opposed, to give her 1-year extension. So that would have expired in February 2024.
okay. Any questions?
No.
Any questions?
No, I think this is where that email came from.
Correct, there are 2.
This
Yes.
is real simple.
There are 2 contiguous neighbors who are opposed to
Yes.
this carport.
There are?
Yes.
We have an email that we received from Joey Grill.
Joey Grill is not a continuous neighbor. He's not a neighbor.
Yes, he is.
He's above my house. His land has nothing to, does not connect to this place where the carport is at all.
No, it's not the carport. It's any property that touches your property, even if there's a road or a stream, we have to ignore that. They become contiguous neighbors.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Where you currently park your car,
Yes.
is that where you're proposing the carport?
Yes.
Okay, then
What is
he's
his-
okay with that.
Oh,
He was concerned you were gonna put it in a different location other than where you currently park your car.
okay.
So, but,
I know Joey Grill since he was 16 years old. I was friends with his mother.
he said he doesn't protest the carport in the area where you're
Okay.
currently parking the
Okay.
car. So you don't have to address it, it's fine.
And then there's
They have addressed me. There's a quarry behind my house that does not belong to Joey or to me. And I was returning stones to that quarry. His wife came running down, has never said hello to me in all my years that I've been there. She comes running down to tell me that I am putting the stones back in the quarry because I've chosen that spot because she can see that spot from her kitchen window. They're there on some weekends, not every weekend. And she wants it to be green. She wants everything to be green when she looks out of her kitchen window. And I had to explain to her that it was a quarry and it was never going to turn green. Not
Okay,
in a million years.
okay, we got it, okay,
Got it?
perfect.
Okay.
All right.
They're just charming.
Next, we have an email from Greg Mattson, who is concerned about existing code violations, your fence, your parking spaces, your commercial business. And because of that, he objects
He's got some nerve.
the carport. Oh,
Okay. The
It's-
fence is on my property. I don't know why. He's got a fence around his tiny little property. I don't know why he objects to my fence.
We'll go out and look at the property and
Okay.
we'll consider what it looks like.
Okay,
in
and
his
he
view.
objects to the fence. What else does he object to?
Your in-home commercial business.
I'm a psychotherapist. I retired 3 months ago.
So that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Okay. And your
But
parking
even if,
spaces.
even if it did exist, the neighbor at the end of the road rents a house and and does construction, and he has all sorts of construction trucks and vans and things that he pulls from the back of his truck, backhoes. No one's ever objected to his stuff. He goes back and forth on that road more often than any of my patients. Even if I ended up all my patients coming to see me. He has more traffic by himself
Thank
than
you.
I would have with all my patients.
All right, Michelle, do you want to read the
Yeah.
contiguous neighbors?
Woodstock Water Department at 43 Como Drive. Claire Maines, PO Box 12 in Malden on the Hudson.
What was that? Who's that?
Claire Maines.
Okay.
Greg Madsen and 253 Fish Creek Road in Saugerties. Michael Anderson at 9 Chester's Place in Woodstock. The Woodstock Motor Club at 124 Abbott Court in Saugerties. Anthony Spadaro at 126 Clinchfinger Road in Saugerties. And Camille Amato Grill at 129 West 27th Street, Penthouse, New York.
Okay, and there's nobody here from the public to speak. We'll note for the record, include in the record the emails we received from Mr. Grill and Mr. Matson.
Correct.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All right, can
I say something?
Of course.
There were two of us who waited here for an hour and a half. What stopped you from seeing us first, knowing?
It's just in the order that the cases are numbered.
We don't know how many people are gonna show up for the
Yeah.
public hearing.
We just take them in
I
order.
would,
The first case was 05, the second case was
considering
06.
the experience that you all have, I would, not having had that experience, even I could guess that it was gonna take a lot more time
Yeah,
than my,
unfortunately, we just have to take them in order. So we appreciate your patience and
you're not seeing patience. Thank you for appreciating it.
Well, I appreciate
I'm not feeling very patient about this whole thing.
your comments are noted. So, all right, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Anyone opposed? And can I have a motion to recess case 2607? Someone from the ZBA will likely reach out to you to come visit. So they'll contact you by
Okay,
phone.
someone has been there because they've taken orange paint and marked off.
That wouldn't have been.
That's not us.
No,
Yeah.
that's not.
So
us.
that's Madsen who did that.
Okay.
So you should know that.
And one of the other zoning board members who isn't here tonight, he wanted to let me know, to let you know that he will be stopping by your home next week as well. But they'll contact you.
Yeah, they'll contact you first, so.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Sorry that you have to wait. All right.
I need a second for the recess of the case.
Anyone opposed? Okay, we're just gonna note for the record that we have two cases, 2501 and 2601, decision and orders and interpretations are outstanding for those, and we have received two new cases, ZBA case 2608, Patricia Ballard, and ZBA case 2609, Nan Schmidt and Steve Johnson, which will be considered at a future meeting.
May 28th.
Okay, anybody else have any other business before the board? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Anyone opposed? Okay, we stand adjourned.